My teen romantic comedy Snafu looks like a typical high school romantic comedy at first glance. A cynical loner joins a club, meets two girls, and slowly opens up. But Oregairu was never really about romance. It's about loneliness. More specifically, it's about the different ways people protect themselves from being hurt, and what it takes to form a genuine connection. At the center, the story is about Hachiman, a boy who's turned cynicism into a survival mechanism. After writing an essay mocking youth and friendship, he's forced into the service club, where he works alongside Yukino and Yui to help other students solve their problems. But the real purpose of the club isn't helping people, it's forcing three emotionally isolated teenagers in the same room and seeing whether they can learn how to understand each other. Hachiman believes relationships are fake, or at least that's what he tells himself. The truth is that he does want a connection. He's just convinced vulnerability always leads to pain. Every rejection and humiliation in his past taught him that opening up only gets you hurt. So instead of trusting people, he controls situations by sacrificing himself. Whether the service club faces a problem, Hachiman solves it by becoming the villain. He ruins his own reputation, absorbs everyone's hatred, and calls it a solution. And the scary part is, it works. But Yukino eventually realizes what he's doing is actually wrong, and that his self-sacrifice isn't noble, it's self-destruction. He's found a way to help people without ever allowing anyone to care about him. That's why one of the biggest themes in Oregairu is this idea that being useful isn't the same as being understood. Yukino seems like Hachiman's opposite. She's intelligent, elegant, and seemingly perfect, but underneath that perfection is someone just as isolated as he is. Yukino grew up constantly compared to her older sister, Haruno. Over time, she learned that relying on people only leads to disappointment, so she built her identity around being completely self-sufficient. If she couldn't be loved, she could at least be flawless. That's why her relationship with Hachiman is so important. They recognize the loneliness in each other immediately. They understand each other in ways that nobody else does, but they also enable each other's worst habits. Hachiman destroys himself for others. Yukino accepts it because it means that she never has to truly rely on anyone. Their relationship only starts becoming genuine when they stop accepting those behaviors and finally admit they need each other. Then there's Yui. At first, she seems like the cheerful heart of the group, the normal one, but Yui is just wearing a different mask. While Hachiman isolates himself and Yukino hides behind perfection, Yui survives by making herself easy to like. She avoids conflict, agrees with everyone, and constantly prioritizes other people's feelings over her own. She wants everyone to stay happy, even if it means suppressing what she really wants, and that becomes tragic once she realizes Hachiman and Yukino share connections she can't fully reach. What makes Yui such a strong character is that the series treats her feelings with genuine empathy. She isn't a jealous rival, she understands the situation long before anyone says it aloud, but she still stays because for the first time in her life, the service club gave her a place where she felt like she belonged. The word genuine becomes the emotional core of the series. What Hachiman eventually realizes is that all three of them have been maintaining fake relationships in different ways. Hachiman hides behind cynicism, Yukino hides behind independence, and Yui hides behind kindness. None of them are fully honest about what they really want because honesty creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates the possibility of rejection. A genuine connection requires exactly that risk. That's why the I want something genuine scene matters so much. It's the first time Hachiman openly admits that superficial relationships and self-sacrifice aren't enough anymore. He wants to be understood, not needed or tolerated, just understood, and that desire terrifies him. What makes Oregairu special is that it understands loneliness in a very real way. Not the dramatic anime version of loneliness, but the quiet kind. The kind where people smile while hiding how disconnected they feel, and the kindness when someone convinces themselves that they don't need other people because needing people is painful. The series argues that the walls that people build to protect themselves eventually become prisons, and the only way to form something genuine is a risk to letting someone be who you really are. That's painful, but Oregairu believes it's worth it.